Yo, yiggity yo, Cypher here with a quick vlog while I'm driving, because I'm driving home and I've been thinking a lot about this election and about things coming up and about all the hate and everything that's been being spread around recently, and it's frustrating. And it's upsetting to me. And as a millennial, a lot of it falls back onto us, saying that we're the cause of all this, blah, blah, blah. The older generations want to blame us for not working hard, and the younger generations are coming up as entitled. And it's not saying that the millennials aren't entitled. We are. We grew up in an age where our parents provided for a lot of us. Now, the reason I wanted to have this vlog is for the one reason of I wanted to talk about the election and dealing with all the hate and everything that comes out of stuff like this. And I wanted to say that, look, I didn't support Trump. I felt as if we could be doing better with either candidate. I voted for Hillary. I'll say who I voted for after the fact. But both candidates weren't necessarily the best. They weren't necessarily good or bad. They were very middle of the road. I mean, Trump was a little eccentric and crazy, but Hillary was a fucking robot, a political robot. And it was a tough choice. It was one of the most heated and controversial debates that I've ever been involved in, and it's going to be like that for the next 4 years. And if we want him out after 4 years, we can vote for it. Now, why I'm doing this is to say that I don't support Trump, but I support democracy, and I support the system we have in place. We, as a country, have a lot of freedoms that other countries do not. And with this, I'm going to say I will support Trump as my president, because I'm not going to sink the ship that I'm working on in spite of the captain. Meaning, I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot because I don't like the way my shoe fits. You know what I mean? It's something that we have to deal with as a country, and it's something that we have no choice over now. We have no control over it. Now, a lot of people are saying he's anti this and anti that and blah blah blah. With the way the government works and the way the American ideals and the way the American people have always gone about doing things, is that when we make progress, we fight tooth and nail to make sure we don't go backwards, to make sure that we don't go a step in the wrong direction. Now, we might veer off course a little bit and once we're getting used to things, but until then, we're not going anywhere. The gay community's not going to lose any of its rights. He's not going to deport citizens. People are afraid for their lives. And we see on the news all the time that Trump supporters rioting here, Clinton supporters rioting there, Trump supporters assaulting people. Those are the extreme situations, and the news is going to spin that out of proportion and always make it seem like it's the biggest thing happening in the country right now, when it should not. These riots are happening in very small places. These attacks are happening in very remote locations. And in the vast majority of it, people are moving on with their daily lives. Now, my Facebook feed has been blowing up for the last week about people bickering about this and bickering about that, and then you have the people who are saying, stop fighting, blah, 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 because they're little pussies. Look, people are going to argue. People have a right to their opinion, and people have a right to talk. That's the point of democracy, is freedom of speech. We have a constitution that lays out rules and guidelines that will not and cannot be changed. And people who are sitting here thinking about gun laws and thinking about gay rights and black rights and women's rights, these things happen over time. Things will change for the better over time. We learn. We have to make decisions. We've made very good progress in the past 50 years, I would say. Maybe even more than that. We've made huge leaps and bounds in the respect of rights of people of color and rights of women and rights of the gay community. I mean, gay marriage was passed just recently. That's an incredible step in the right direction. And we're only going to be moving forward. That's what America does. We have these turmoil times, and we always come out stronger. We always learn from it. We always understand, and we always grow closer as a country. Now, I know very little about politics, and all of the things I'm saying here are just my opinion and just what I've observed. I can't go into policy and talk about it because I don't know policy. The only thing I can do is speculate based on who is running it. Now let's look at who's running our country. Donald Trump, president-elect, right? He has really little political experience. But I will say some of his redeeming qualities are that he can talk. He knows business deals. Granted, people are saying, oh, his businesses are failing, blah, blah, blah. But look at his success overall. He's a multi-billionaire, and he's a very successful businessman. He has a good mind about stuff like that. Now, going back to the point of where he has no political experience, or very little political experience, is that he will surround himself with the proper people who will give him the right guidance. And that's where my faith lies. My faith lies in the cabinet, the House, and the Senate. All those things. Those things are what he's going to rely on, and what we as a country are going to rely on to help make those good decisions. The beautiful thing about democracy is that if he says, you know what, I'm going to deport every black person or every Mexican or every whatever, blah, 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 spouting some racist bullshit because he's Trump and he says what's on his mind, it's going to go to the House, it's going to go to the Senate, and they're going to vote. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to go backwards. These people, these senators, these House representatives have been in those seats for 30, 40 years, some of them. Even some of the more recent ones have more modern ideals about the world and more modern ideals about, and have a good understanding that this is not the way things work. This is not how a country should operate. So yeah, he could put it to the Senate. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go anywhere. So people with these worries, these fears, they're justified. I will give them that. They're justified. It's funny to think about, yeah, that he's going to deport people. Not funny, but I mean funny in a way that it's like people are worried about having to carry their birth certificates. I have a friend of mine, a coworker actually, who said, like, I really need to like start carrying my birth certificate around if he's going to start deporting people. And now he's I wouldn't say Indian. I can't remember what nationality he is specifically, but he's from over in that region. And we were joking about it. Yeah, it's a funny thing to joke about because whatever, Donald Trump is crazy. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That will never happen. Ever. He will never deport citizens. The Senate, the House, the American people will never allow that to happen. Now, I know I ranted about politics, and I'm ranting about this because I feel like it's such an important topic of conversation right now, and it's such a huge part of what this country is going through, and all of us as Americans have spoken. People who said they didn't vote for Hillary still had their voice heard, still their vote counted, and it mattered. And the way democracy works is that when a majority of American citizens feel that this candidate will be right for the country, that is who is elected. Now, people are all butthurt about that. We lost, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, there's always going to be a winner and a loser in everything. Everything. When it comes down to a race. And that was a political race. But that's all I have to say on the topic. I'd like to hear what your guys' opinions are in the comments below. I want to talk to you guys about it. I know a lot of channels are like, we don't talk about politics in the comment section. Fuck that. I want to hear about those sort of things. I want to hear you guys' opinions. I want to learn things from you guys. Now, on to my next topic of conversation, which is happiness. Happiness is a relative term based on each individual and what they find enjoyment from. Me, I'm very happy at the moment. Do I want to see some things changed? Of course. There's some areas I'd like to be happier in. I'd like to play some more video games. I'd like to be more involved with you guys and building my community. And a lot of videos recently I've been seeing from Jacksepticeye. I'll call him out and say that he had a couple of videos where he mentioned his community. He mentioned other people talking about his community, and Markiplier's community, of course. And then I want to talk about PewDiePie. Now, those are the 3 YouTubers I watch. I really don't watch anybody else other than Eat My Diction and some other smaller ones, but watching those 3 YouTubers have kind of given me a goal. And not necessarily the amount of fame and success they have, but the amount of... But their communities. Their communities are what I want to model it after. Jacksepticeye is more than anybody's. He had a video the other day, a vlog, where he was talking about how proud he is of his community and how nice and close-knit they are. Now, I feel our community is like that, and I'd like to see more people in it. I want to build something that people can come, share ideas, thoughts, fears, worries, happiness, sadness. I want to experience these emotions with you guys, and I want to help you and be there for you guys. I want it to be like a close-knit family of people who like video games and talking about random crap. For example, Kyle, he's always in my streams. I think it was Kyle. Wasn't it Kyle? Let me check. God damn it, my recording stopped. But not Kyle, Crater. He's in my streams a lot. He's a big supporter. He's always so nice and active in the chats. He sent me a story he had written with a friend about Skyrim. And I'm going to read it, and it's going to be fantastic. And hell, if I like it, maybe I'll even do a video of story time with Mitch or story time with Cypher. And I want more of that. I want you guys to send me your things. I want you guys to send me your success. I want you guys to talk to me about your failures and your fears. Because 9 times out of 10, I felt something very similar or can relate. As a 23-year-old man, I've been through a lot. I've done a lot of things. I've struggled. And I've been active, and I've been alive, and I've been living my life and experiencing things with girls, experiencing things with friends and family, heartbreak and loss and happiness and sheer bliss. And that's why I do this. I don't do this to play video games and become famous. I do this because I want people to have an outlet. I want people to have a way to express what they're feeling, and a way for people to... How do I put this? A way for people to come together and find common ground. And especially in this time of turmoil where Joe, some average Joe, wants to beat the hell out of me because I voted for Hillary. That's crazy. Or all the sadness that happens in the world, the shootings that we have here, the robberies, the murders, the sheer terror that some people are living in constantly overseas. In all of the darkness that surrounds us, I want, not me specifically, not Cypher, not Mitch, but my community. I want my community to be that little beacon of hope that some people can come to and vent and just talk and take their mind off of everything that's going on. That's why I do it. Even if no one's in my stream and I'm talking to myself, it helps me get my mind off of the problems I'm having in that day. It de-stresses me. And I want to offer the same thing to you guys. Now, I've gone on for long enough. And I'm sorry my recording stopped. I'll have to cut those two together when I upload this. But I love you guys. I love the support that my subscribers have given me. Even though we're a very small community in relation to a lot of YouTubers. We're not even over 200. But I don't mind that. I don't even care if I break 200. If I can get like one more subscriber, if I can get one more person to enjoy what I do and feel that they belong somewhere and feel that they can come and have a good time, I've done my job. I've done what I've came to do. Now that's all I'm going to say about that. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was when I move. Now, I get the keys to my new apartment on the 15th, and I'm super fucking excited to move in there. But I actually move in with my family on Friday the 19th, and they're helping me set everything up on Saturday. I want to do I'm going to do a setup tour once it's all done and all set to go. And once that's done, I want to do a stream. I want to do a huge stream. I want to play a bunch of games. It's going to go all day, probably all day Sunday. I'm going to wake up early Sunday morning, and I'm just going to play. And that's what I'm going to do. Lauren might come over, and if she does, we'll play some PlayStation 2 together, play some PS4 together. We'll do something. We'll fucking play a board game and stream that. I don't give a shit. I want you guys to be there, and I want you guys to enjoy it, and that's it. So, without further ado, I will see all of you in the next video. Have a great night, guys, and remember, love each other for fuck's sake. We're all human. Blah!